right, Father. So, in the context of the imposed unitary 1999 Constitution, what is internal colonialism and what actions do you propose for the redemptive resolution for the indigenous peoples?
Yes, the current 1999 Unitary Constitution forcibly imposed upon the country. It bears striking similarities to apartheid, a form of internal colonialism that oppressed indigenous nationalities of South Africa. This underscores the urgent need for Nigerians to demand the removal of this constitutional order and actively participate in the creation of a new autonomous constitution that truly represents the people. Regrettably, the indigenous people were not adequately consulted during its formulation. While this constitution claims to vest power in the hands of the people, it was, in reality, crafted by the military, not by the people. It is the people's responsibility to express their desires for governance and way of life. Failing to do so leaves us with a political system even more oppressive than that apartheid we are talking about. We must address this issue promptly rather than rushing into elections, which often deceive the impoverished masses, followed by the selection of leaders, the way they already pre-programmed it. The present constitution misrepresents every Nigerian as part of a federal republic, when in truth we live under an imposed unitary government. In a system where people do not have the freedom to determine the fair distribution of resources and rights, and where lives are continually being shared, we know that already, east, west, north, and south. Even elections alone cannot offer any genuine solution. So, to address this problem effectively and ensure that the change genuinely reflects the people's will, we should seriously consider adopting the 5-point INAS agenda, INAS proposition that was put forward by the Nigerian Indigenous Nationality Alliance for Self-Determination. So this approach entails initially a regional referendum as the first step, then followed by the national level ratification of the results, leading to the creation of a constitution. It's agreed and is agreed upon by everyone. That becomes our own. The way legal experts say it becomes really autonomous. Then people can then rest and then be doing things. So many of us are dying every day, everywhere. We have no alternative. And that is exactly the only way, or whether you are church authority or whatever, that is our major responsibility for now. That's it.
Thank you. Samuna wants to pull up the 5-part agenda that you mentioned so that she can just run through it for us so that people will discuss. Because when you say 5-part agenda, some people have not heard about it and what it is. So Samuna wants to just, it's coming up so that she will run through it for us.
Yeah, that would be very nice.
Yes. Samuna, please go ahead.
Right. So remember, we typically read out this 5-point agenda every day, which is the first one says an acknowledgement of grave constitutional grievances raised in the union dispute, an express commitment to decommission the imposed 1999 unitary constitution. The third one, an express commitment to shelve further national election under this 1999 constitution. The fourth one, an invitation to the constituent peoples of Nigeria to work out the modalities for transitioning arrangements, including mandate, timeframe, membership, and ancillary matters. And the fifth one, the announcement of a time-bound 2-stage transitioning process, which shall in the first stage feature multi-regional referendums by which components can recommit to or opt out of the Nigerian Union, and in the second, distilled terms of union as may be dictated by the outcome of the referendums. Again, this is the same 5 point agenda that we typically share on this show. Father, thank you so much. And you see, thank you so much for that answer that you gave. And this is one of the reasons that, maybe that I'm still upset, because we watch when the church, we spend months reaching out to the church leaders, educating them on the Nina's propositions, consulting them one-on-one, had, secret meetings, open meetings, all the meetings. And at the end of the day, the same church was telling our people, if you don't get PVC, you will not get communion. If you don't get PVC, you will not come in. If you don't get PVC, this one will happen. And now our people are in dire situation. And these so-called church religious leaders, they don't have any answer for our people. It's heartbreaking. So there has to be some type of consequence for that action that they took. There must be some type of consequence for what they did to the people, because the people trusted them as men of God, that they parade themselves as men of God, and at the end of the day, they were betrayed. So what are we going to do about this?
Please, we might have the need to correct an impression, because if the church teaches something and the individual church personnel, take for example a priest or even a bishop, does otherwise, that person was never sent by the church. Because during that election, personally, I also saw a video of a particular priest who was saying it seriously to his congregants, that if you don't have a PVC card, then you dare not receive communion. That is not the teaching of the church. I don't think that any pope or bishop will teach such a thing. That was, but the issue is that perhaps, just as I said earlier, some of them might have been misled. I mean, the priests by themselves, they might have been misled that, this is the best. Up until now, many of our people do still believe that the election will resolve their problems. That is a misnomer. It doesn't follow at all. So until our people really understand the issue, now that these things have happened, and somebody has been imposed upon us as our president, and I'm even hearing that somebody is saying, if you now say that you are not, if you say that is not the president, the question is not about president. We want to give a foundation. The country has no foundation. And once foundations are destroyed, as the book of Psalms said, then what can the people do? And that is why we say that the best thing is for everybody now to go and that is reconstruct the country. We must have the constitutional reconstruction. If we don't have it, then even if we are ruled this way by even my brother for hundreds of years, Nigerians will never enjoy anything. There will be no benefit, because it has been written already. And because it was written to our detriment, then why are we even saying prayer for Nigeria in distress? And this is all lies. It doesn't help anybody. Let us face the truth. So it is not a question of what the individual priest said. Nobody told that person. He did it on his own. That's exactly what he likes to do. And perhaps because of whatever he believed, he has now seen it, and he will begin to enjoy it. So it wasn't from the church. It is only individual persons. So, and I know also that the bishop of the particular priest, I heard that he was called to order. And I think that since then, I never heard another person saying, okay, but I know also that many of my colleagues, that is the priests, they also try to lead their people to go and get PVC, even if they didn't say it so loud, so that every other person will hear it. So the problem is still there. But right now, because if we cannot leave this thing to lie low for a very long time, it is too much. So the way every country in the world, at least I've been as you read, I was in Germany, and not only there, some other countries, particularly in Europe, the way people organize themselves to be a country, to be a society at all, is by constitutional order, agreement by the peoples. And our brother Tony used to say that the constitution is a living document. It's something living. If we say that this is not our own, it will die, or that is just a natural death immediately. But as once we continue to pursue, to pull it, or to drag it along, as somebody said, then it continues to live. It is our own responsibility. So this is where we might have to differ with many of our colleagues who do say go and buy division, and yet they don't listen. They don't even hear. They couldn't first. Listen first. What is there is what is said. I think it was the book. No, the gospel of one of the in the scripture. Jesus said that we see the signs coming, and we are able to reinterpret it and interpret it very well. But sometimes we pick and choose and deceive ourselves. So that is deceit, pretense. Once we have already seen that this thing doesn't help anybody, so we cannot say that okay, we can be going, we can drag it along. Later on, it will help us. It doesn't help anybody. That is always the problem, and we have to call people out this time once all such things are done, and then especially including every other person as those who connived to drag people into debt. So many people have been killed, and it is high time we stop that. In the north, almost every day. Middle belt, almost every day. And we are still patching and trying to paint works. It is a problem. So we have to help ourselves. Even now, the question still remains. It's not a question of somebody has. People have not solved or resolved the issue. Have we now had a true constitution made by us and for ourselves, for our own good? It has not yet been done. And because of that, we must rise up and face the truth. Otherwise, we are gradually going into extinction as a people. And there will nothing like Nigeria again. So sorry, I'm taking your time. Let me stop here.
No, you did not take our time. Good job. Go ahead, Samuel.
Yeah, you're doing a very good job. Thank you so much. The thing is that we can no longer stand aside while people make any kind of statement and get away with it, especially the statement that will kill our people. The funny thing about all of this is as we are waiting, I was just counting in my head, if we allow 4 more presidency to go through, that will leave a child that is born today to be 32 years of age. 32 years of wastage. That is 2 years of backwardness. So each time Tinubu comes now, he wants to stay 8 years. A child that is born today will be 8. Then another criminal will come and want to stay 8 years. That second president, the child will be 16. Another one will come, stay 8 years. Look at this, is their productive life is being wasted. The child will be 24. Another one will come. By the time we get to the 4th useless presidency, a child that was born today will be 32 years of age doing nothing, just backwardness. And we mothers, we are sitting down watching it. We are giving birth to children that will go nowhere, to children that will see sufferings from today to the day that they will die. The children that their body parts may be sold at the Mediterranean Sea. The children that even when they are so intelligent, they won't use it to make any change. So, Father, you can see that we're in a dire situation, that we really need to be serious about what we're doing. So we thank you for standing up for what is truth. We thank you for calling out those that are doing things in the name of the Lord that they weren't even sent.